AI just solved 10 open math problems that stumped researchers for decades. This week proved something big. AI isn't just a tool anymore, it's a peer in scientific discovery. Here's the week in AI in 5 minutes. Hey, I'm Byte. Welcome back to the week in review. It's Friday, August 15th, 2026. And this week was all about breakthroughs in math, in autonomous systems, in how the world will regulate AI. Let's dig in. OpenAI announced that an internal version of Astra, its next major model, solved 10 previously open problems in maths and theoretical computer science, and published formal verifiable proof on GitHub. The problems are real research, establishing the existence of non-sophic groups, deriving new upper bounds on spheres, tracking density, and others. The cost roughly $2,000 in compute. Why it matters? For any data or research professional, this shifts the goalpost. AI isn't pattern matching on training data anymore. It's exploring uncharted max territory independently, at speed and scale no human team can match. If you are in research, analytics, or scientific computing, you're watching your field change in real time. This is no longer what if, but when. And how do we build this into our pipeline? My take. The breakthrough is real, but frame matters. The cost $2,000 in compute undersells it. What's stunning is that an AI system independently formulated research questions, explored solution spaces, and validated its own work. That's scientist level autonomy, not computation. If you're planning infrastructure or hiring for research roles, assume AI will do more of the exploration work. Your org's edge is in asking the right questions and integrating findings into domain work. Story 2. The US Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, DARPA, achieved a historic milestone. An F-16 fighter jet completed a real-world flight with AI systems in full control. Not simulation, not a testbed aircraft, a real combat platform in the air under autonomous AI command. The flight validated AI's ability to handle real-time decision-making, sensor fusion, and dynamic control in a high-stakes environment. Why it matters? This is a watershed moment for autonomous systems in general. If AI can handle the complexity of combat aviation, sensor overload, split-second calls, dynamic threats, it can handle hard autonomy problems in your domain. Robotics, industrial control, edge computing, real-time analytics. This proves the maturity of AI under pressure. It also signals acceleration. What takes years to validate in aerospace will compress into months in consumer-facing systems. Story 3. On August 2nd, the European Union's AI Act transitioned from law to daily enforcement. The rules: companies must now disclose when users interact with AI rather than humans. Mark synthetic content in machine-readable formats so algorithms can detect it, and explicitly label deepfakes or AI-generated text when it touches matters of public interest. This is the first major regulatory framework governing generative AI at scale, and it applies to any company serving EU users. Why it matters? If your org operates in Europe or targets EU users, you now have compliance work ahead. The disclosure requirements alone reshapes product design. Every chat interface, every autocomplete, every agent interactions get a label. The machine-readable marker requirement means your synthetic content pipelines need audit trails and versioning. For product compliance and data teams, start documenting where AI touches user-facing flows and budget for compliance tooling. Story 4. DeepSeek V4 Flash model exited preview this week at 14 cents and 28 cents per million tokens, input and output, and scored 82.7 on terminal bench, competitive with much larger models. Meanwhile, Anthropic announced that Claude Sonnet 5's introductory pricing ends September 1st, with costs rising from $2 to $3 per million tokens. The message: inference pricing is a feature, not a footnote. Why it matters? 3 years ago, model's choice was about capability and brand. Now it's about cost per task. If you are evaluating models for production, chatbots, analytics, pipelines, customer support, you're not picking the biggest model anymore. You're picking the one that solves your specific problem at the lowest cost. This month alone saw releases from OpenAI, DeepSeek, Byte, Meta, and Alibaba. The bar for entry is now shipping paying customers, not just a nice API. Story 5. Global venture funding reached $510 billion in the first year of 2026, more than all of 2025 total of $440 billion. AI accounts for over 70% of all startup funding. But here's a concentration problem. OpenAI and Anthropic alone captured $217 billion, or 43% of all startup funding in the first half. Other major deals, Shield AI raised $2.25 billion at $12.7 billion valuation. SpaceX acquired the coding tool Cursor for $60 billion, the largest startup acquisition on record. And Qualcomm acquired Modular AI for $4 billion. Why it matters? 2 takeaways. First, if you are in a smaller AI startup or building AI internally, capital scarcity is real. Investors are chasing scale, and break-even models and profitable niches are starving. Second, if you are evaluating AI vendors, many of them are burning capital at rates unsustainable without continued funding. Ask about unit economics, customer acquisition cost, and path to profitability, especially before locking in long-term goals. That's the week in AI. If you are building with these tools or building tools to compete with them, this is a pivotal moment. Subscribe for weekly recaps every Saturday. And if you want the daily briefing in your inbox, link below for the newsletter. See you next Saturday.